Hi, I'm Gavin. Meow meow meow. Let's try that. See how that sounds. Do a quick hi, I'm Gavin. Alright, sounds good. Okay. So, what the fuck is going on? Haven't done one of these in a while. Let me take my meds real quick. YouTube can't know. I think you get. I could get in trouble, so I won't show a bottle. We need to know what's going on with me anyway. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am usually your not so humble dungeon master, Gavin Reitzel, but today we're doing something a little different. Not D&D related, but just something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. This year has been an extremely notable year for me in terms of consuming content. I have been so artistically full of so many things that I've loved or have felt contentious on, or just topics that I wanted to talk about in general. And I'm always, I always got these thoughts in my head. There was a brief bit where Overdogs wasn't streaming. And in that bit, I spent a lot of that time consuming and dabbling and partaking in other types of art, things that I usually, that I'm usually, putting all my stock into, like D&D. But this year, I have been so full of content. And this year's probably been one of my favorite years of just like things that I've liked. It's probably been the times this year's I probably went to the theater this year more than I've ever done my entire life. And whew, I gotta say, like, this year's just been full of so many things I've wanted to talk about. So, so we're gonna do it in a little tier list format. Every one of my friends knows I'm very tier list coded. I love me a good old tier list. You give me something that allows easy organization, I'm fucking there, right? I love compartmentalizing. I think that's how you say it. Now you will see the way that this is laid out is it only really goes down to true mid. That's because I really don't dislike anything on this list. That's what the fuck tier. I think there's only one thing, and that's going to be in that tier. There's also NA. NA is for the things that I just wanted to bring up, but I haven't finished. That's pretty much the point of that tier. There's of course my goats of the year. I don't really, there hasn't really been anything, because I don't watch anything that I know I'm gonna hate. I will say there are two notable exceptions from this that aren't on this list that I would if I had seen them. Which is One Battle After Another. That movie looks fucking fantastic. I just haven't had the situation in which to sit down and watch that movie. I wish I saw it in theaters, but I fucked that up. The other one is the new Knives Out. For those who don't know, Knives Out 1 is my favorite movie of all time. I fucking love that movie, and I've been hearing crazy good praise about that movie. So I need the situation to come to me in order to watch that movie. So this is not a very true tier list. It's just kind of a Trojan horse for me to talk about the things I want to talk about, because I be thinking about shit. We're gonna kind of jump around the list and grab things as I see fit. Now I will say, when I was making this list over the last while, I also do have a bunch of food here, so if you see me noshing on shit, ignore that. It's my breakfast, that's lunch. I slept in late today. I thought I did a lot this year, and then when I put it on this list, it kind of just looks like this. There's more shit I did, but these are just the things I wanted to talk about. And I was a little disappointed to see that it looks so small, but I think I can pull this out. So I think I think we're going to start off with the things I haven't finished. So right off, we're going to go Silksong. I have not finished Silksong. Hollow Knight 1 is probably in my top 10 games of all time. And Silksong is extremely fucking fun. I think it's, in my opinion, as far as I gotten, which is honestly not very far, kind of already beaten Hollow Knight 1, in my opinion, in terms of how it feels. I think my biggest problem with Hollow Knight 1 is replaying it's kind of a nightmare, because once you get so balls deep into that game, there's so many of the mechanics, you're like, Jesus Christ, I feel so naked without it. And Silksong, it does have some of that, but I feel like having a lot of the tools in your disposal right away. And I also think the diagonal down, fucking bunny hop that you can do, like down slash, that is a very innovative, and honestly really brings something new to the Silksong corner. So I was very happy for that. The other thing I haven't finished is, I think the only other video game on this list, is Borderlands 4. I'm a big Borderlands fan, and I know that's sad. Borderlands 4 is, so far, from what I've seen... Oh, sorry. I'm just having that up. Just make sure my stream's going good. Borderlands 4, so far, and I've been playing this with a buddy, Jesse of Ymir Frostwalker fame. I've been playing that with him, and it's been pretty good. I will say I think my only thing with the game is it really does feel like they went the complete opposite of direction of Borderlands 3, which makes sense. You know, Borderlands 3 is a lot of things. Its story is not what I would call good, or even good, or competent. That's the word I was looking for. Borderlands 4 does feel like a complete different shot in the other direction, where it kind of feels like it loses a bit of that Borderlands feel in order to kind of service a better story. What that says about Borderlands as a whole, I don't know, and I don't feel like getting into that because I haven't finished 4, so I don't want to, dig in too hard to it. But so far, it's very good. I think my only big complaint is the first boss fight, which is like the big gold dude. That boss fight's really good, and no boss fight after that has felt nearly as good. That one just had a really good gimmick, and actually felt really hard. Every boss fight afterward has not felt that hard. I don't know if me and my buddy have really died in a boss fight in a while. So I think those are kind of my only NAs. I guess there is technically another one, but I feel like I've gathered enough to know what I want to talk about. Let's do an easy one. Let's do Overwatch 2. Now, Overwatch 2 obviously did not come out this year, but this year is when I did get back into it. Overwatch 2, I swore off. I had missed a great majority of the game. I loved Overwatch 1. It was one of my favorite games of all time, and to see it scrapped for a shittier sequel really made me upset, so I swore it off. But I had a buddy who loves it, and he got me back on the train, mostly because the rest of the group chat was doing that, and I was like, well, fuck it, now I gotta. Meow. Hi. So I got it. I went back on it. And I was surprised to see that it is the exact same game that I played like 5 years ago. I will say the perk system in that game, chef's kiss. Like, whoever decided that, fucking more to you. That is probably one of the best additions to the game, period. I think the new rank system is pretty good. I think the map voting is very cool. Some of the new game modes are kind of all shit, but that's fine. Yeah, just I will say, for competitive shooters, I kind of believe competitive shooters are kind of all the same. We're gonna see that with another one on this list. But Overwatch 2, I think I'm gonna put in B. It's fine. I like it. I think it is fun. My only problem with the game is kind of more on the character design aspect. For those who know, Vendetta just dropped, and I think that is the most boring character they've released so far, besides like Wu Yang. They just can't make an interesting character design to save their goddamn lives. They just lost their sauce. Their sauce like died with like Ramatra and like Junker Queen. They haven't really had like a stellar design. Like Juno's pretty good, but I saw somebody tweeted this, and it makes so much sense to me. Is that Overwatch does not make character designs innately to be good. They make it so they can have good skins over them later. And that makes so much sense. But in terms of getting back into a first-person shooter, I was pretty satisfied. Ramatra, Ashe, those two characters I've been like, it feels good that like in a game you haven't played in so long, that a character like Reinhardt, I can still play him and have fun. You know? Where it's like, he was one of my favorite characters to play in the old game, and it feels crazy to just be like, oh my god, he's still valid. He still works. Like, you think with all this other bullshit. Another notable thing, I think, is the 5v5. When it first came out, I was like, why? Now I get it. I am now a pro 5v5 head for the sole fact of I'm a big tank fan, and how they make the tanks feel in that game is crazy. All my friends describe each tank as like a raid boss now, which I think is so smart. The best addition they've ever done to that game is make tanks feel like this role that has makes you feel like the boss of the team, but doesn't necessarily make you more important than the rest of the team. It is a really healthy balance, and I think works 100%. If we're talking about Overwatch, we got to talk about Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals. Now, Marvel Rivals, I love it. It's probably the first time I've played... I've always had a weird relationship with video games. It wasn't until... Yeah? What the fuck? My door just opened for no reason. That was weird. I thought my girlfriend was coming in. Marvel Rivals... I've always had a weird relationship with video games, that I wasn't very good at them, and then I got a PC, but then I never really played two competitive games, just because none of them really caught my fancy, and all the games that I used to like when I played on like Xbox have turned into absolute cesspools, like what I thought Overwatch 2 became, Rainbow Six Siege, kinda Fortnite, but that's not a first-person shooter, so ignore that. But Marvel Rivals, I love Marvel. This year's been a huge year for me and enjoying Marvel. I've been reading a lot of Claremont's X-Men, and that shit is unbelievably good. I would put it on this list, but honestly, I don't know if I could get all my thoughts on that into one thing, and I can't justify making that a 2025 thing. But Marvel Rivals, I love it. I think their balancing is completely fucked. What I love about Marvel Rivals more than all is how it truly does feel like they give a fuck about their fan base. I can't say that about Overwatch 2. I can say Overwatch 2 is overall the better game in terms of how it works, and that it is balanced, and it feels like it is designed for a competitive setting. Marvel Rivals, nuh-uh. not at all. Marvel Rivals is stuck in meta. It can't really get out of it. And they either buff a character beyond comprehension or put a character into the dirt. So it is a little bit of a shame. I really do hope they find a way in the future to balance that out. Even I play a lot of Penny, and I feel like they keep giving her buffs, and she doesn't need them. Like, when she got the rocket thing, I was like, okay, interesting. And then they made her healing crazy. She has healing, like proper healing now, which I was like, she didn't need that shit at all. She was fine without it. I don't know why we're doing this. They keep buffing her, and she's perfectly fine, at least in my opinion. But that's just me, I guess. But I think the characters they've been adding have been 9, 10 out of 10s. Like Blade, spacing on every character. Blade and Daredevil, Angela, fucking the new Gambit. I feel like we've been on a really good hot streak with characters recently, in terms of uniqueness and how they feel. If one thing I will give over Overwatch is that Overwatch 2, it is a first-person shooter in the fact that's like every character kind of feels the same. If you're playing a DPS, it kind of feels like you're playing. Hi.
I'm gonna take a shower.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you. If you're playing fucking any character in Overwatch, they all kind of feel the same, unless you're playing tank, honestly, which is why I like it, because tank's the only one that feels unique. Overwatch 2, it kind of feels like every DPS is like bullshit, and all of them, I guess when everybody's bullshit, nobody's bullshit.
I also wanted just to let you know I have 2 incense going. One in the living room and one in the kitchen.
Okay.
I just don't really feel like hear a crash and wonder why like something's burning. It's probably. Well, I'm just saying like if they like.
Do you just want to like not have the incenses burning?
To burn.
Well, put them somewhere high.
I did it.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
Okay, bro. Any fucking do. I like the Gooner game, basically. In review, I like it, and it's fun, and I unfortunately do need to give the edge over it into, it is probably my favorite competitive game ever. I love Marvel, so it kind of has me there. Like the whole joke of like, let's play Overwatch, but with characters we care about. That is how I feel about Marvel Rivals. Even if the game gets to certain depths where I'm like, oh my fucking god, this is wrought with meta, I can at least be like, I could play as an X-Man, you know, like, you got me. I can play as Emma Frost or Storm or Jean Grey. We're Cyclops. I want Cyclops. But anyway, yeah, Marvel Rivals, love it. It's fantastic. Any fucking who. What do I want to talk about next? We'll do Dawn to Dawn, because I really don't have a lot to say about it. I just kind of threw it on here. Honestly, I have very little to say about it. I just wanted to say kind of one thing. Dawn to Dawn, I think it's B+. Dawn to Dawn is having... I haven't read the manga. I have only ever seen the anime. I read the manga when season 1 of the anime was coming out, but then I waited for season 2, if that makes any sense. The manga is very good, but the anime is kind of, at least the story, again, it's very early, it's only season 2. I'm kind of feeling this distinct fall from grace that it's having, because of the sole fact of this show keeps adding fucking characters that I don't care about. It keeps widening the roster, and I don't want that. I barely want fucking... I want 4. I want the 4. I want Momo, I want Okaroon, Ichiji, and Pink Girl. I kind of forgot her name. I love them. They're a great cast of characters, and they keep adding characters to the show that I don't fucking care about. There's the alien girl at the end. There's like the guy with like who's like super cool and is jealous of Okaroon. And I don't want that. Like that's always my biggest problem with like. It's so strange because it's a romance manga and a battle shonen at the same time. So when you're reading like a romance thing, you're like, oh, they're gonna kiss, an obstacle, and in this, an obstacle is a whole ass arc of fighting. When I'm just like, I kind of just want to see these two characters interact, or at least their interactions be baked more into what they're doing. But it kind of feels like they constantly need to be separated in order to have their character, you know, have more character growth. And it's a bit of a shame, I have to admit. Maybe season 3 will pull it back together. I put quotes around season 3 because season 2 is basically season 1.5. It's incredibly well animated. I believe it's animated by the same studio who did the Scott Pilgrim anime, which that was very good. I like the English voice acting, and incredibly solid voice acting. I like Turbo Granny. She's funny and silly. That's kind of all I have to say about Donadon. I kind of threw it on here because I was like, oh yeah, that did come out, and I did watch that this year, but I kind of forgot about it completely. But it's still very good. Next up, I think we'll knock another one. Ninja Sex Party's Under the Covers. Now, I know what you're thinking. Gavin, why the fuck would you put a cover album on here? And I don't, I think it's good. But I just wanted to use this as a backdoor that I got to see Ninja Sex Party live, and I got front fucking row, baby. That was so fun. One of the best nights of my. That is the only reason this is on the list. I'm gonna be straight up. And also, paint the camera over. I got that bitch signed. That came in just this week. But yeah, no. The cover album, I love Walk the Dinosaur. The rest of the cover album, pretty good. Danny's vocals again truly ascend. Usually when he covers a song, I secretly have to admit, like, I kind of like this version more than the original, but I can't tell people that, otherwise I'd get crucified. But no, incredibly solid. While we're on the topic of albums, Baby No Money. Now, once again, this is kind of a backdoor to talk about something that I want to talk about. This album, I think, is C+. It is, I think it's like a 6 out of 10, right? And here's the thing. I want to use this as a backdoor to talk about Baby No Money as an artist, because there's a lot of stuff about him. People like to call his music bad. And this is what I want to say. If you think his music is bad, you need to listen to more music. Because I think his music is perfectly fine. I think his music is like a good 6 or 7 out of 10. But unfortunately, we are in a very weird relationship with art that if it's not revolutionary, it's immediately bad. I saw Baby No Money live, and I thought it was very fine. It was one of the few concerts I didn't get front row at, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a miserable time because unfortunately Baby No Money fans are like 50% of the gay community, which I love, and the other half is like annoying ass like white girls. And I had a whole cabal of white girls who had zero concert etiquette, and it was fucking awful. But what I want to say about Baby No Money as an artist is that there's this contention where it's like, oh, fans like him because he's a good person, which I think is strange, because I will always say, because yeah, like, he's a good person, and he also makes serviceable music. Like, I don't know why we've lost the sauce in terms of, like, music that can just be good. It doesn't need to be great. And I know that's kind of a backhanded compliment, but I think this album is perfectly fine. I listened to the whole thing, and I thought it was a very solid, like kind of like dance, like hip hop album, or I guess we'll call it rap album. And it's nothing revolutionary, but I think his instrumentals and the music videos that he's made, and I think his vocals actually can really work when they are put into the right situations. I do think his vocals sometimes do get put into situations where they need to express more but can't. But I think there are certain times where they really work. I think the example for that is the money cab is I can't remember the name of I can't remember the fucking song. But yeah, I just want to use that as a backdoor to say I really like Baby No Money, and yes, I like him because he's a good person, hates AI art, supports like cosplay and the overall gay community. I got into him because of the JVic cosplay, and I'm not afraid to say that. And I just think it's a little silly that we can't indulge in an artist because one, we are full of so many times where we keep having great art made by terrible people. And I think having good art made by a good person is great. And I think that does make something better when the intentions behind something are like true, because we have so many times where we have artists who make art about this like topic, and then you see them as a person, and it's like, where's the dissonance here? What happened? You're not listening to your own art, and it's distracting. And I think Baby No Money, he says what he has to say, and it's nothing revolutionary, but I do wish a lot of my main complaint is the stuff that makes him so great as a person. I wish he put into his music more. In terms of the things he has to say and the things he speaks out about, I kind of wish that was baked into his music a little bit more. And that's kind of my biggest complaint. But I think people are forgetting this is like his first like big album. Like this is his first album where he's really grown into it to himself as an artist. So he has really nothing but to do but go up. So I think this is very much because the album's called Baby No Money. It's establishing him as a brand and who he is and kind of bringing to the table of like, this is what I look like and this is what my music can sound like. And he is an artist who I think just turned 30. He's got a lot of growing to do. And, you know, he's my baby girl, and I have a crush on him. So, that's all I gotta say about that. Next up, let's do Novocaine. So, Novocaine. This movie was, I think, very good. I think it is a very good movie. Honestly, I think this movie is, like, the same level of Baby No Money, where this movie does fall into this category of film that I've noticed has become very popular, which I've just kind of called white guy revenge, where I posted a whole thing about this on my Letterboxd, but there's this whole genre of film, and it's very much like a John Wick style of film, where it's like a guy has a relationship with a person or something, and that relationship with that person or something will be incredibly short or not really even like they have like one meaningful interaction and it's like, oh, they're true love, and then the rest of that movie it is them slowly killing themselves for that person with some of the best stunt work and physical practical effects that you'll ever see, and it's just such an interesting trend in Hollywood, and I hope it never stops because they are perfectly great. Like they are good films, and they're just like it's just I like movies where it's just like we're gonna have a good time. I think the only thing my problem with that movie is it didn't indulge in itself enough. I think or at least indulge in its premise enough. I kind of wish we kind of cut some of the, you know, romance shit and kind of just it just kind of kept doing because the romance shit's fine, but like what makes John Wick is that good is because it's like, oh, it's a guy and he has a dog. Let's go you know, fucking murder people in the most creative ways for the next 2 hours. And I kind of wish it just indulged in that a bit more. But yeah, perfectly fine. I also forgot there is another album. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I can get a little slay for a moment, I think this album is incredibly good. Yeah, did I put Man-Child above Mariles? Yes, I fucking did. I think this album is incredibly good. I have so much to say about this album. I do want to bring up this. This album is also gonna be I didn't want to even fucking mention it, but I do also, while talking about this album, want to talk about the new Taylor Swift album because I got a lot to say. I made a whole fucking rant on it on my own personal socials. But god fucking damn, that new Taylor Swift album is bad. Actually, let me change my opinion. It is painfully mid. It would be it would be like right between these two guys right here. What the fucking true mid? Because it is a incredibly boring album that does not serve on the premise at all of the life of a showgirl. Because when you give me an album, every album on this list, I can say serves in their premise. Man's Best Friend, I think this album kills it in serving on its premise and what it pitches to the audience. Under the Covers is a cover album. Doesn't need to do much. And Baby No Money, it is called Baby No Money because it is establishing what his music sounds like and who he is as a person. So, that Life of a Showgirl album, it pitches you on the life of a showgirl and then does nothing with this premise at all. And Sabrina, girl, you were on the last song of that album and I hope you got paid, but I don't know why she's on that album. It's kind of disappointing. But going over to Man's Best Friend, bro, this album is so good. Now I've always been a little bit of Sabrina stan. I've always got, you know, she's got a little crush on her, you know. It's her in like Baby No Money where I'm like, god, you guys are so hot. But unfortunately, Sabrina Carpenter does make way better music than Money. That I can admit. Sabrina Carpenter, her Short and Sweet album, I wasn't the biggest fan of. I thought it was a very solid pop album. And I thought it was good. I liked Please Please Please. I liked the songs everybody liked, and I moved on. But then this album started coming out, and the music videos caught my eye because I was like, ooh, holy shit, these are good as hell. And then I listened to the music, and I was like, oh my god, these are good as hell. Fucking Tears, Man Child, Go Go Juice, Goodbye, like so many bangers. Like, I was blown away. And she is by far like the best, like one of the best pop artists in the game right now. I think she is fucking killing it because, one, what I love about her is she has a style of music that I really appreciate, which is a music style of music that kind of doesn't 100% take itself seriously. It has a little bit of like a comedic edge to it. It's not a very like a comedic album or anything, but it's not afraid to have these like subtle jokes and also kind of like very point fun at itself. Like, it's not afraid to be like this. It's silly. Like, a lot of the things we do for, relationships and what women do to themselves in a dating sphere is sometimes fucking crazy. And I think this album does a significant job at doing that, of having that comedic edge, of, having these incredibly well-sounding pop songs, and like, having also a very wide range. What I always loved about her, she has like this strange, like almost country like background to her music. Like, it's not country music, but it's like she has like this like style of like, it feels very country adjacent, if that makes any sense. I hope that isn't just me talking my ass, but I love the country genre when it is utilized well, and unfortunately it is never utilized well. I think a prime example of a good like country-esque album is actually Rhett from Rhett and Link's album James and the Shame. Man Overboard is what that album called. Incredibly great folk slash country album. I got the sniffles. But this album incredibly sold on its premise. I was blown away. Every song ranges from like good to fantastic. I can only hope to see what Sabrina does next, and I hope it raises the bar even more and kind of keeps going all out. But yeah, that's my first A. Let's go into Sonic 3. I really like Sonic 3. I really like Sonic 3. So I will say, you're talking to a person who did not really like Sonic 2. I think Sonic 1 is better than Sonic 2. Because Sonic 2, in terms of its, like Sonic 1, incredibly, like, it's a movie of all time. Like, it does something simple, incredibly simple, but at least it works. Sonic 2, I think, did not do a good job at dealing with its characters. I think Tails in that movie really gets on my nerves, like, does not really work as a character and has very little character development. I think Sonic falls into that too, where his character development in that movie is like, I'm gonna start becoming a good a better teammate rather than become a better teammate in that movie. And Knuckles in that movie, he's great. Honestly, if I could cut Tails out of that movie and just have Knuckles and Sonic, and I know that's crazy to say, but honestly, it's kind of the truth. But this movie... Listen, I'm a big Sonic fan. This movie fucking killed it. I love this movie. This movie's a great goddamn time. And I am fucking livid that it wasn't nominated for Best Adaptation at the Game Awards. It doesn't need to win. I just find it bananas that Until Dawn, the movie, made it on there. There was a fucking adaptation on there. Like, there was a... what's it called? One of the Tom Clancy games, I think it is. It got a show, I guess. I didn't even know that one happened, which it looks fine, but why the Until Dawn Man movie, bro. I didn't even watch that, but I don't need to watch it to know it's dog shit. This movie, Sonic 3, splendiferous. I love Shadow. I love the Eggman. I like when Sonic goes supersonic and has probably the closest thing we've had to like a good anime-esque battle shonen fight in like an American. Well, Sonic's not an American produced product, but this movie is very much an American produced product. So we've never really gotten that before. I think that's fucking insane. I thought the fight scenes were incredibly good. That was kind of one of my biggest praises with the movie, and I got very close to crying. I didn't cry. I got close. It was, you know, when I fucking the Maria scenes, like Live and Learn and shit started like it was. Listen, I am your typical Sonic fan. It's not hard to impress me with the Sonic product. If you just give me something that is serviceable, I will think it's amazing. So I fall into that category. But I think besides that, it's very good. I do like we got to set up Amy. That looks very fun. Fun fact about when I saw this movie, I didn't know there was a second post-credit scene. And so all the people, because, like, I didn't see the post-credit scene of, like, Shadow picking up his rings and then walking away. But I never assumed he died. But there was a lot of other people who, because they were going to kill Shadow. Like, let's be fucking honest with ourselves. I never thought that for a second. I thought they were going to bring him back. They've brought an Eggman back twice. They'll probably do it again, and I won't have any problems. But there were a lot of people who were like, what? He died? Or he didn't die? I was so surprised. And I was like, guys, come on. Let's fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. let's be real with ourselves. All right. We're starting to get down to the things on the list that I like really want to talk about. So let's do the ones that I have less to say. And let's do Chainsaw Man. This one's close to being one of my goats of all time. This one very edges in close, but I think I just need to watch it again. I've only seen it once in theaters. Usually on my second time when I watch a movie, I'm like, okay, yeah, it is that good. And I've only ever seen this movie once, and I thought it was incredibly good. I didn't even know like pictures could move like that. That's insane. Like the animation in this movie blew me the fuck away. I was so surprised by how good a movie could look. I saw it with the English voice, and the English voices fucking killed it. This is why you support your local theaters, ladies and gentlemen, because I was able to snag a Chainsaw Man. It ripped a little already. Fucking awesome. But I snagged a Chainsaw Man poster. I need to get a frame for it. But this is why you befriend your local movie theater, everybody. You get free shit. Anywho. But yeah, incredibly moving. I honestly don't even want to say much about it because it just kind of just came out, and I want people. My biggest thing I just want to say is incredibly well animated, incredibly well voice acted. The story is adapting one of the most short and sweet bits from the manga, and 10 out of 10. I haven't seen the Demon Slayer movie, but I know for a fact it's better than the Demon Slayer movie. So whatever. Next up, let's do Wicked. This is the most recent thing on the list that I've seen. So the original Wicked, the original Wicked movie that came out last year, 2024, I loved it. I thought it was very good. I thought the story was very good, and I thought it did very well. This movie, though. Now, I will say, I haven't seen this movie a second time, so this rank could change, but this is how I feel about it right now. And how I feel about it right now, this movie was kind of dumb. I thought, because I was just very... It kind of dawned on me through the movie that I haven't seen The Wizard of Oz in a while, and so if you don't have a lot of that context in your brain, it is a lot of the things in that movie are very like, okay. A lot of the things in that movie kind of pissed me off because it's like, oh, we're gonna show things that happen, we're gonna recontextualize things in The Wizard of Oz, but we're not really gonna do anything with it. Like, I would have really appreciated it because I was kind of hoping for like an after, like I thought that's what was gonna happen, that we would kind of get the beginning of the movie where it's like before the Wizard of Oz, and then the after the movie is going to be like very much the after the Wizard of Oz. But no, not really. It basically, the moment Elphaba dies, it is very whatever. Like, I thought so many of the things in that movie were very silly. I thought the music was incredibly, obviously, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are fucking killing it. They are some of the best musical talents that I've ever heard in like this context before, so I was blown away by their performances. That is to say, I don't think any of the songs really blew me away. I thought the first movie, I didn't even love the songs from the first movie. I liked 2 or 3 songs from the first movie, but I didn't really fall in love with any song from this movie. I was kind of disappointed in that aspect. But yeah, and once again, as everybody has said, the color grading in these movies is very strange and a big misstep. We could have had one of the prettiest, most colorful movies of all time, and we didn't do that, which is very ironic because these are based in the same universe where the first ever movie in color came out, which is an incredibly colorful movie. So what the fuck are we doing? Yeah, very disappointed. Very, very underwhelming. I thought a lot of the shit that happens in the movie is very funny, because it's like, yeah, I knew the fucking Witch of the East was gonna have the fucking house dropped on her, but in the context of the movie, it's like, oh my god, you can't have me like try to make me feel like this like toxic relationship that this character's having with fucking SpongeBob, and then drop a fucking house on her and expect me to be like, okay, sure. Like, especially because I think especially Glinda's character in this movie, she pisses me off so bad. I think everything she does in this movie just makes everything a little worse and pisses me off, and she basically gets off scot-free, and I think another thing that kind of fucked me up with these movies, I kind of forgot that Elphaba and Glinda aren't like supposed to be a couple. I kind of forgot, because their chemistry in the first movie is insane. Like, what is this feeling? You need to look me in the fucking eyes and tell me that is not the gayest song you've ever heard in your life. Like, that is the like, bro. That was my biggest thing with that movie, and I kind of forgot. So it's very much apparent in this movie that that's not the point. And yeah, I was very like, ooh, whoops. I kind of went in with the wrong context. That one was my bad, but like everything else in this movie just kind of pissed me off. Jonathan Bailey was very hot though. I have a crush on him too, so that's great. Yeah, we're getting kind of down to the things that I want to talk about. Companion. Honestly, I don't have a super lot to say about this movie. I think B+. Companion, very good movie. It's Jack Quaid in a very different type of role. Jack Quaid, he's kind of in a very typecasted situation right now, but I think this role really puts him in a different light and really works. I think this movie is incredibly good. I think Jack Quaid is killing it. Sophie Thatcher, I think, is fucking absolutely destroying it. I want Sophie Thatcher's Ileana Rasputin magic so bad. Make it fucking happen, Marvel, if you actually want to make money. But Jack Quaid, fucking killing it. I don't have so much to say about this movie. It's been a little bit since I've seen it, but I want to rewatch it for sure. It's on one of those movies that I want to rewatch, but I was very satisfied with what I came out with. Performances were great. Very funny movie. Kind of all I gotta say about that. Oh boy, God, yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna get to the strong. Okay, we're gonna start with. Do I have like all the things I want to talk? Oh, well, let's get this one out of the way. Captain America: Brave New World. So I've been in the theater a lot of times this year. This is a movie I had to watch with somebody else in a theater, and I fucking couldn't get anybody to watch it with me, which fucking fair. So they came out on Valentine's Day, which I think is fucking hilarious. This movie is true mid. movie is hilariously boring, hilariously incompetent, does not do a single thing correctly, blows up the big twist in all of the marketing because then they realized nobody was gonna watch this movie. I think Sam's new little sidekick is fucking whatever. Harrison Ford is clearly sleeping through this movie. The VFX on Red Hulk, I was actually very impressed with. That's like the first time I've seen a VFX in one of these kind of Marvel movies where I was like, oh, wow, that actually doesn't look like shit. Giancarlo Esposito, I don't even know why he's in that movie. He was part of the rewrites, I know that much. But God, I watched this movie online with my friends, which was the only way I could watch it, and we felt nothing throughout the entirety of this movie. This movie feels drunk. Like, it does not feel like it's just things happening. I liked the introduction of adamantium. That's cool. Wolverine, yay, I guess. I like how they actually did stuff with... I will say, the one big thing I'll give this movie is they actually do something with the Celestial that's just on the fucking planet now. Because that happened in the Eternals, and no one's brought it up. And I kind of thought it was just going to stay that way, but God bless, they were like, wait a minute, we can use this elemental to bring in Wolverine. So that's exactly what they do. I am 100% sure they only released this movie just because it's like, oh, you'll get your Wolverine soon. We'll finally put a character you guys give a shit about. Sam Wilson, I think, is a character, unfortunately, who has fallen from grace. His characterization at this point in the MCU is unbelievably fucking stupid. I think he was an incredibly good, not great, but good character, and he could have been a great Captain America, but unfortunately, they put his movie into a 6-episode TV show on Disney Plus that was not meant to be a TV show, so it suffered for it. I will say the same opinion everybody has. This movie should have been scrapped, and that show should have been the movie, and should have been Sam's first actual go-about as Captain America, because as it stands right now, there's pretty much no conflict with him being Captain America in this movie, besides Harrison Ford being like, grrr, fuck you, Sam Wilson, let me do what I want, you know, and that's it. Like everybody fucking loves him. Like, everybody in the military loves him. They're like, oh, hey, Sam, how you doing? Like, it's there's no conflict. Like, it's strange, and it's so weird. And to the people who call this movie good, you should watch more movies. Yeah, this movie, truly the most incompetent movie I have seen all year. But maybe I need to see more movies, so who knows. Now we're getting to the wire of the things that I really want to talk about. So we're gonna start with Dispatch. Dispatch. My go to the year. I love this game. I was blown away. Now, I will say, when this game came out, I had no idea it was in a weekly episodic format. I had no idea, and I swear to God, I did not see any of that in the marketing. Maybe I missed something, but I was very, surprised to find out that this game had, 2 episodes a week, which I think, at the end of the day, did help it. I think it needed that. But, listen. There's nothing I love more than a well voice-acted game, and this is a well voice-acted game. It is a Critical Role game, so fuck yeah, it's gonna be great. Beginning to end, the voice acting is spectacular. I think Aaron Paul as Robert Robertson, he should have got nominated for something. Again, doesn't need to win, but should have got nominated. I think that the fact that this game... Hi. What's up?
Julian was on the desk, and I had him come up on the chair, the very top, and so he climbed up there, and then he cuddled into my chest, and I must smell really good from my bath, because he started gnawing on me, and now he's just really interested in me. So
I tell you, man, they're taking after Harlow.
I know. Come on, Julian. Girl.
All right. Aaron Paul should have got nominated for something. Now, I gotta say, Now, this has been a division in the fan base, so I'm not gonna propel it as much, but I kind of hate Invisigal. I think she is an incredibly miswritten character. I think I'm actually kind of surprised that people like her. I've realized we are not woke enough for Invisigal hate. She is incredibly predatory. She's very annoying. And I'm not. And listen, I know that we're the Phoenix program. My biggest problem with her is there's so much light on her. And I don't want all that light on her because my favorite Z-teamer is Prism. But I want to see more Prism. Golem, Punch Up, Coupe, Sonar, literally anyone. Like, I could have taken any other Z-teamer other than her and put her in that light, and I would have liked it more. But unfortunately, she's put into this awkward spot where she's forced into this like romantic interest role, and she kind of suffers as a character for it. And she's just this incredibly horny character. Like it's such obvious like bait, like for an an audience, and she just kind of pisses me off. And I was just very put off by her character the entire time. Like I think her story, I think the true best, because here's the thing, I can look in the best of stories. That's why, you know, there's a lot of things, like I said, I don't really hate things like necessarily, but I think her character works strongly when it's not as a love interest. I think her story, the story of like of a villain falling in love with this hero, misplaces her like admiration for infatuation is an incredibly interesting story. And I think that, you know, her growing past that and realize Robert doesn't like me, he's just nice to me. I think that could have been a very good arc for her character, and of her realizing that not everything in life, especially of her background of being a villain, not everything needs to be transactional, like a relationship or sex or anything. Like, it could have really worked, but unfortunately, with the nature of this game being a choose your own adventure and people on the internet are incredibly horny, it just doesn't work for me, like, at all. Her story did not work for me at all. I love Blonde Blazer's story. That one made sense because, one, it felt like two adults having adult conversations and actually being on the same level as each other with a power dynamic that didn't leverage over each other. Like, it felt okay. Like, it felt like two actually good, responsible adults liking each other. But Invisigal, dude, fuck off. She's trying to get my goddamn food. Or he's trying to get my goddamn food. This is my first boy cat. New boy cat, everybody. This is Julian. I love him. Anyway. Did not like Invisigal, the Invisigal, that route, and I get to choose your own adventure, but I'm gonna judge on that aspect as well. Bro does not want me to talk about Dispatch. He's an Invisigal fan. Okay, well, I'm just gonna hold you then. Yeah, the Invisigal storyline I think is super weird, and I think my biggest problem with her thing is that the thing that starts to propel her relationship with Robert is the scene at the beginning of like episode 3, where can you take him?
Yeah. My mom was asking if her and Jenny can come over to see the cats.
When?
Like, probably right now.
Okay, just don't come to my room.
Yeah.
Here, maybe. Alright, love you. But yeah, very, 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 did not like Invisigal's story. And also the thing I was saying, yes, at the beginning of episode 3, is that, it was very weird to me that the only time, the thing that propels the relationship and also gets the audience to fall in love with Invisigal or to present her as a love interest is a scene where it is only her perspective it is just showing us this random wet dream that she's having. And that's very strange to me because everything in this game is from Robert's point of view. That is, I think, the only time we don't see something from Robert's point of view, and it feels strange. Like, it feels like an afterthought, and it's just so weird to me. It feels very obvious, and it kind of blows my mind that people don't talk about it more. But ignoring all that, this is probably not the best video game story, but the most well executed one. Because I've seen there's this thing that I kind of believe that if you take a video game story, put it in the context of any other media, the score drops down by like 3 points, you know? And I can't say that really is the same for any other kind of piece of media. I think video games are that very strange specific territory. And so this game, I believe, truly does have a fantastic story. Now, does that kind of come at a... The story is very straightforward, and therefore a lot of things don't really change depending on what you do. I mean, there are some notable differences, pretty much all of them being Invisigal, which, like... whatever. Again, I like her story when she's single because it makes more sense. And honestly, and the first route that I ever ended up with when I played it with my friends, Robert didn't end up with anyone. So if you want to know how I did that shit, that's how I did that. But anyway, yeah, I do think sometimes the format of this game does come at a detriment, so it does make you wonder, for all the people who do want a season 2, I want that too, but like, how? Because we'll either have to do the Telltale style of shit, which is basically have your seasons not really mean anything, and then when you get into the next thing, you need to set up the status quo. I think the only way that it would work is if we had a complete reset of characters, but unfortunately, I think a lot of people really love this current iteration of the Z team, but I think, unfortunately, the most healthy thing for the game is to have a revolving door of characters for Z team. I unfortunately think it's the only way. Have it like a time skip way in the future, where a lot of characters can move on or do their own thing or whatever. But the only fucking thing that pisses me off is Invisigal, because for some reason she has the most focal point in this fucking story. It pisses me off. But anyway, yeah, that's that. I think Dispatch is incredibly good. I think it is the funniest game I've ever played. The comedy in that game is 10 out of fucking 10. The writing, very good. And it is, of course, even propelled further by the legendary voice actors that are behind the game. So that's that. I love Dispatch. Again, my goat of the year. It's very less objective. It's very much of just like, this is a game that really clocked something that I identified with. So moving on, let's do some more of my contentious things. So let's start with Peacemaker Season 2. We're gonna put this here for right now because I need to talk this through. Peacemaker Season 2 really left me confused. I think Peacemaker Season 2 is nowhere near better than Season 1. I love Season 1. I think Season 1 is incredibly solid, even though Season 2 has the better opening. Oh Lord by Foxy Shazam, way better. I'll fucking die on this hill. I do not care. But yeah, no, I was very confused by this story. I think a lot... it's such a complicated thing to talk about. The performances, I feel like, are all there. I feel like everybody's doing a pretty good job. I don't think this is the sleeper project, or like James Gunn has fallen asleep at the helm that a lot of people think this movie is. I like the Lex Luthor stuff. That was cool. I liked... the Rick Flag. What the fuck is going on with Rick Flag? Let's just skip past the other shit. Let's get down to what we all want to talk about. What the fuck is going on with Rick Flag? because Superman's on this list, and I'm not going to say too much, but I really like that movie. And I'm wondering, as Rick Flag was in that movie, how the fuck did we get from here to here to here? Because Creature Commandos, to the people who were like, oh, he was always like that in Creature Commandos, did we watch the same show? To me, Rick Flag in that show felt very compassionate. Like, he was like, he didn't necessarily love the Commandos, but he treated them with compassion. Literally the first episode, he tells Phosphorus, like, we need to act as a team. And his arc throughout that show does not like resolve in him realizing he hates metahumans or anything. He gets his back broken by fucking Clayface, but clearly he walks that shit straight off in the next in Superman. So like, what the fuck? What are we doing? I just think his characterization is all over the fucking place, and like not what a lot of people want from that character, especially not what I wanted. I would have liked him if he was kind of, because when he was called the through line of like what was things were going on, I just kind of assumed he would be there to act as almost like an audience surrogate, if that made any sense. Like, he's kind of there to see things from a human perspective and be like, whoa. And like, even in Superman, he says like, oh, Big Blue stopped the war, naive but well-intentioned. I'm sure that's how a lot of people, you know, the general audience saw like Superman's actions in that situation, where it's like, oh, you know, he's naive but he's well-intentioned. But then all of a sudden he makes salvation. He's obsessed with this portal and all this other shit, and he's like, it's good for the betterment of the world, because we want to lock meta-humans up? How did we get there? Like, it's so strange to me. I don't know how we got here, and it's just weird. Like, it's not where I wanted this character to go at all, and I don't think what we got is very great for his character either. I think a character who could have learned and moved past this shit, because here's the thing, to me it was just gonna be like, oh, he's a Peacemaker character and we're gonna kind of end that there, and he'll have his arc in Peacemaker, and maybe him and Peacemaker will kind of resolve their shit or whatever. He's realizing like, this isn't what my son would have wanted or whatever. But no, now he's part of the DCU as this fucking bad guy. And of course, we learned Brainiac is going to be the main villain of Man of Tomorrow. Thank God. But listen, I have a theory, and I'm putting it out there now because I needed to make sure that it's out there and that I say it, because I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about it. I don't believe that's Rick Flag. I believe that's a whole different motherfucker, or at least he's being manipulated. What if, like, he's getting, like, Brainiac, you know? Like, what if he's getting his brains Brainiac or something? I don't know a lot about Brainiac, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't read any comics of Brainiac. I kind of just been getting into the DC universe, so I'm pretty slow. I'm slowly reading through some Superman, the new Superman, or the Rebirth Superman. I really want to read the Absolute series, but I feel like I haven't earned it yet. In terms of any Absolute series going on right now, I feel like I need to actually enjoy proper Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman before I enjoy anything else. That's just how I work. But no, I was very just put off by his character, and I feel like we should have kind of, for the most part, put it to bed in Peacemaker, because otherwise right now it makes the show feel a little... I don't like when people call a show homework, but it does kind of feel that way, where I would rather this show be a parallel between, you know, like how Peacemaker had to kill his dad and Rick Flag lost his son, and I would rather see this show go in that direction and have Rick Flag, like, you can still have Rick Flag be an asshole. It's just like, have someone else do the metahuman salvation shit. That literally any character would be fine. Have Amanda Waller do it. If Amanda Waller did it, literally everyone would be like, fuck yeah, let's go. Do it up, Amanda Waller. But Rick Flag, that's not where I wanted for his character to go. I kind of wanted him to be just this, like, better part of the human government. Not a good part, but a better part. But yeah, Peacemaker as a show, I was watching it week by week, and I usually don't do that for a lot of shows. So for right now, I think I'm gonna put it in B. Yeah, that feels right. I love the show. I think it's really good. I like all the characters, and the things that we did get, I think were very good. But I think the show put its priorities in the wrong space, and I think it does kind of compromise itself for a bigger universe, which I think that was something really good about the original Peacemaker, is that since the DC extended universe at that time, which was, Henry Cavill Superman, was very all over the place, it kind of felt like James Gunn could do whatever he wanted with that project. Like, nobody gave a fuck. And the DC at that point had no direction, so he could do whatever he wanted. The only thing that really ties that thing to the rest of the universe is Peacemaker's constant mentions of, greater characters that have basically been retconned out. Or, the big scene at the end, which again, retconned. So I kind of wish the show indulged in that more. It stayed within its little pocket universe of the Peacemaker story, but wrapping it into the bigger timeline, I think, was a bit of a misstep, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what I gotta say about that. So on sticking to the cape shit, Fantastic Four. A very hot take. I think this movie was not bad. I thought it was still very good, but it was a bit of a disappointment. One of my biggest things with the movie is the thing a lot of people said about the movie is that it feels like there's a good 10-20 minutes that are just gone from this movie. I think this movie could have really worked. It could have been great, but it just kept cutting shit, and it felt sometimes in the wrong order, or interactions that were in the trailer that really would have served the movie well were just gone. Like, fucking John Malkovich was in this movie, and then he's just not. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, that's bananas. I can't, in recent memory, remember when, like, a person was in a trailer, especially like a notable actor, and then is just cut out of the movie. Like, that's bananas to me. And I think the character who gets impacted the most by this is Ben Grimm. He really doesn't do anything in the movie. He just kind of flies the ship. And I think when him having a because it's like, his story is about self-acceptance, but at the end of the day, hello? Yeah, I'm live streaming, by the way. Yeah, I'm doing my year in review. I'm doing my year in review. I was in the middle of talking about Fantastic Four. Just got done talking about Peacemaker, basically just complaining about Rick Flag. I was just saying, Fantastic Four, a lot of the things that they cut out of the movie kind of impacts Ben Grimm's story a lot. Like, he doesn't get a lot to do in the movie because they just cut so much shit from the movie. I think there was like a scene that he was supposed to have where he like saves a bunch of like pets from a store, and that just wasn't in the movie. So it's a bit of a shame. Yeah, this is the current list so far. We got like Dispatch and my Goat of the Year. Yeah. Been doing the hot takes. Been saving my big ones for the last. As you can see coming up. But yeah, like Sinners, yes. I think next up I'm gonna talk about Thunderbolts. This one's B+. Hot take. I think this movie's better than Fantastic Four. Because it surprised me. With Fantastic Four, the thing about the Fantastic Four is that movie needed to be great. That movie needed to be solid. The Thunderbolts, that movie could have been fine, and I think everybody would have been like, okay, sure. But this movie surprised me. I think the Sentry was fantastic. I think taking these loose bag of characters that the MCU at that point had no idea what to do with, and just funnel them into a movie and then make them basically the Dark Avengers was an incredibly good decision. And it's unfortunate that they'll probably have nothing to do in Doomsday. But yeah, no, I really like that movie. I think the performances are all great. I think I just love the Sentry. The Sentry was a very big surprise. Yeah, I think they did kind of jump the gun on being like, it's called Thunderbolt. Psych, it's the new Avengers. Like with the marketing and shit. I think I Oh god, another one? Uh I'm I'm doing my year in review. I'm doing my year in review. I was just got done with Thunderbolts, which was very. I literally just anything I enjoyed this year. Literally anything that I just did this year in terms of content that came out, I put it in a list. I've just been slowly writing shit down throughout the year, and then I knew at the end of the year I was gonna put it into a fucking tier list. Because that's the only way I can get away with doing a tier list. Yeah, Thunderbolts. Very good. I really like Thunderbolts. Next up on my list, I'm gonna talk about Weapons. I was really disappointed by this movie. Yeah, we'll do C+. Weapons. So this movie, unfortunately, from my point of view, had kind of a it got put into a position that it didn't deserved by me, because this was the first time I had seen a horror movie in theaters since It Chapter like 2. And you guys know this about me. I'm not a huge fan of horror movies. So I was like, you know what? This one seems very good. I'm going to go see a horror movie in the theaters. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone and I'm going to have some fun. And this movie was not a very good horror movie. If anything, this movie's funny as fuck. It's a really good comedy. It's a dark comedy. And honestly, I think the marketing would have done better if it was sold as that. I think the main villain is incredibly dumb. This movie does have the problem of, like, it shows too much of the quote-unquote monster, so it's, by the end of the movie, it's not very scary, especially when a bunch of, like, 4th graders rip an old woman to shreds, but that was pretty cool. But, yeah, the performances are fucking killer. Josh Brolin is killing it in that movie. I think he was originally supposed to be played by Pedro Pascal, but I'm kind of glad he wasn't. Josh Brolin fucking killed it. And is that Jesse? Oh, that's Roman. Hey, I'm doing my year in review. I'm live streaming, by the way. I'm doing my year in review. I'm doing my year in review. I said this earlier, I need to watch it a second time. A lot of how I feel about a movie is usually changed by the second time I watch it. So I need to watch it again, and maybe with other people. Yes, yeah. But yeah, this is my year in review so far. Fuck yeah. That kind of barely edges in. That came in like December of 2024. It's when it ended. So I only included Sonic 3 because I wanted to bitch about that it didn't get nominated for adaptation. Yeah. For some reason, the stupid ass Until Dawn movie got in, which pissed me off. Oh, you know what? I just realized I don't have my Discord audio set up. I've been talking to nothing this whole time. Yeah, this was just designed for me to be alone. There we go. Okay, somebody say something.
Ah.
Okay. All right, that should be good. I'll put you guys just down there. Perfect. I'm sure I don't need to check the audio. It's fine. But yeah.
I could have been saying horrible things this whole time.
Yeah. We're getting to the biggins now. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about Invincible season 3. So, Invincible season 1, perfect season of television. Season 2, it's fine. Season 3, I didn't like it. So Invincible has this problem where they set something up at the end of a season and then completely change their mind going into the next season. And the end of season 2 was like, all right, Cecil and Invincible are working together. But as you can see by this key art, that's not what the season is about. It's very much about Mark being pissy at Cecil and being pissy at everyone and having a little brother. And I think the story has so much lost its sauce. I think Invincible getting a new suit this season was completely pointless and basically just for hype moments and aura. Like usually if a character gets like a dark suit, I want it to mean something. Like when Spider-Man gets the black suit, it's like, oh, something, we're about to see something gnarly, but
I feel about Born Again, where we're seeing leaks of Daredevil wearing a darker suit.
Exactly. Like, I want that to mean something for the character, but it honestly, Invincible as a character, like, it's not like a dark turn for his character or anything. He's just kind of pissy at everybody. And, like, every side character is incredibly boring. I think Adam Eve is a incredibly boring, she's not a bad character, but it's a boring relationship. Cecil has this Nick Fury problem where everybody in universe is like, oh my god, Cecil/Nick Fury, you're a fucking conniving bitch. But everything they do in the story like makes complete sense and is like like everything like they just like I don't know. It just it fucks with me. Oh god, this thing's trying.
Honestly, like, I watched season 1 of Invincible, and then I watched like half of season 2, I think. I was like, oh wow, this is going downhill.
Yeah, you can really.
And then I stopped watching it. I was like, it ended at season 1.
my biggest problem with this show is I've been avoiding comic spoilers as much as I can, or at least I was. And my biggest thing is that at the end of Invincible season 1, it's like, oh shit, the Viltrumites are coming. And then season 2, it's like, oh, that didn't really happen. And then it's like Nessa, she's like, oh shit, the Viltrumites are coming. And then season 3, it's just Conquests. And then it's just like, oh shit, the Viltrumites are coming. And I'm like, motherfucker, can these guys just kill them all? I don't get why they don't all just come. Because if they all came at once, they'd win. Because Mark is the strongest character on Earth. And he gets his ass kicked by Conquest, and the only reason he wins is because Adam Eve turns into a laser beam and vaporizes him. And it's like, god, the Conquest fight, obviously the best thing of the season. The Invincible War, incredibly big misstep. I won't say much, but there's a character who dies in that Invincible War, and I think it's incredibly fucking stupid. Probably the dumbest death I've ever seen in a show, and it is so manipulative. Because this show is doing the thing where they're changing things from the original comic book, which I think is a good decision. You should do that. And that's what made season 1 so great, is that it's just kind of these weird mosh together parts of the comic put together. And from season...
Fresh spins.
Yeah, like, for example, like the robot reveal of him, like, what he is, that shouldn't have technically happened in season 1. It should have been way later, but I think it services better for it, but from what I've seen is now we're at a point where we're kind of taking the comic pretty much straightforward now, and we're not mashing a lot of shit together or cutting down on time. So now we're just getting these storylines that aren't very engaging, not very interesting. And I was just constantly like bored by, there's like a point where Mark goes into the future and meets Future Immortal, and I thought that was dumb as hell. And Mark just consistently never does anything that makes me like him to the same way that I liked him. What the fuck are you doing, Roman?
That's not me, dog.
Who is that? Who's
Man,
you clacking on
doing?
plates?
Ice cream.
Oh, you lucky bastard. I want ice cream so bad.
God, I have ice cream. I should go grab some.
Fucking God. I was talking about this when we were calling earlier, and how bad I
remember.
wanted fucking ice cream, but I can't go out and bear that cold.
I went out to the cold. It was easy as fuck.
I saw that, and then I looked over, like, I was reading it, and I glanced over, and I saw that, so that this fucker was, like, sharing his screen somewhere. I was like, oh.
Okay.
And I joined, and then you joined shortly thereafter.
But Invincible, I think I'm gonna have to put it in true mid. I think I liked half of the shit this season, and the other half I thought was dumb as hell. Yeah. Now.
So it's giving Daredevil season 2.
Fuck off. This cat keeps climbing on me. All right.
Superman, true mid.
The Long Walk. This movie, go to the ear. So this was the movie that I didn't really know anything about it. It's Katie's favorite book of all time, and it's the adaptation of that. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I want to go see my girlfriend's favorite movie, and I want to see it in a context I'm more familiar with. And oh my God, that movie blew me away. First of all, soundtrack. Probably, it needs to get nominated for something. It's so fucking good. The acting from across these young men, oh my God, I was blown away. Especially with how gay this movie is. It is an incredibly gay film. And that was very nice. Mark Hamill is in it as like the general, where he kind of just yells at a bunch of young men the entire time, which, you know, he kills it in that.
Hamill's good at yelling at people.
He's good. Yeah, he's basically just like, oh, danger! Like that's his whole character. Yeah, and the acting from across, like, this movie only works because it's literally just a bunch of actors just kind of talking at each other and witnessing them slowly get picked off from one another. And what surprised Katie, a true fan of the book, is they changed the ending. But the ending, the way they changed it really works, and Katie was very impressed by it. And I was also one of the few times out of anything on this list that I straight up cried. I thought that was incredibly good. The performance is beyond good. I was just blown away by this movie. I was so surprised by it. I don't got a lot to say about it. It's a very simple movie, but a very simply great movie. What? Next, so time for the two supernovas here.
Sammy.
I know which one you're saving for last.
So Sinners,
We know where these are going.
So Sinners, I had kind of an arc with this movie. The first time I saw it, I really liked it. I necessarily didn't like fall in love with it, but I really, really liked it. And then we all watched it together in VC, and that was very fun. But when I knew I loved this movie is when we saw it in IMAX. And that blew me. It made me go like, oh my God. I get it. Like finally I understand what this movie shit is all about. Like going to an IMAX movie and seeing one of the most movies of the year, I was like, oh my God, yes, this is how you do it. And the performances, the heart, there's just so much going on with this movie. And Remick is probably in my running for my favorite villain of in like anything this year. He's like right up there with Lex Luthor. And like he's such a fun villain, and he's my standout of the movie for sure. But everybody else is fucking killing it. To tell a quick little story, when I first saw this movie, I knew nothing about this movie when I went into it. I knew nothing. All I knew was there was a vampire, and I saw Michael B. Jordan as both characters, but I couldn't tell if they were both Michael B. Jordan, so I had to quietly Google on my phone, like, are they the same actor or am I racist? I'm like, I don't want to say they look exactly the same, but they look exactly the same. God, this thing is rampant. But yeah, Sinners, so good. Give me one moment.
Sinners is probably my favorite movie of the year for sure.
Fair. Honestly, it would be. It would be.
Oh yeah, we know.
It would be.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I was already getting that. Don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
My movie of the year. Everybody knows what my movie of the year. And I don't give a fuck about a single any other one of these movies or games or music albums or shows. I could take literally anything on this list and throw it out the fucking window, because there's only one movie this year that I truly gave a shit about. A movie that changed my perspective on media, on on DC, on Superman. Like the performances, the soundtrack, the way it looks. Sometimes the color grading's a little weird, but I kind of like it. I don't care. Lex Luthor, Nicholas Hoult, Rachel Brosnahan as fucking Lois Lane. Dude, David Cornsweet as Clark Kent, Eddie Gathegi, Nathan Fillion, like all of them putting in a performance for a movie that I didn't even think was possible. I saw this movie 5 times in theaters. I don't think I've ever seen a movie twice in theaters besides Sinners. And so, I was just like, what the fuck? I watched this movie this morning. I watched it this morning just to wake up. And, oh my god, my cat took my chicken nuggets.
Dude, the cat was possessed by the spirit of Lex Luthor.
I didn't even know movies like this were possible, bro. I didn't even know. Superman's my movie of the year. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. This is my movie. I like Clark Kent. I like Lex Luthor. I like Lois Lane. And
I could hear you slurring your words and mumbling as I came back from taking a piss, and I was like, "Oh, yep, he put Superman up."
That's my year in review. Basically, this is my year in review. This is the list. This is it. This is all I care about. I love Superman. And also, another thing is of my goats in the year, I got 2 cats. This is Julian and Mavis. You guys can't see this, but it's on stream. This is my goats. And yeah, I would like to thank everybody for tuning in to my year in review. Just a little app. You did.
Well,
Wow.
we don't count.
You count. If you don't, I'll kill myself.
What do you say post-stream, Gavin? We do
What?
some B-tier gaming.
What? Oh. Rowan, you should have been in here for my portion on Overwatch. Or is he still getting his muffins? I think he's still getting his.
Getting his muffins.
He's getting his damn muffins.
On
Getting
the
his
slice.
fucking muffins.
I've got a bag of sour cream and onion ruffles that I'm like waiting to shred into.
Well, this has been my year in review. I will hopefully do this again next year. I want to make this a yearly thing because I have so many times I want to talk about some of these things. Like, you guys know.
I think that it's a good recap, honestly. Like, I think that I'd be down for this.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're just talking, this is my year in review. I hope to do it next year. Roman, I said that you should have been here for my portion on Overwatch.
Hey, unfortunately, I missed that.
Basically, I just said perk system's good. The character design kind of went down the shitter. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I'm a 5v5 stan now.
It just is very good.
The raid boss system.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
So,
I think that Overwatch needs to stop being afraid of
Good character
making
design.
women like more buff.
yeah.
True.
We've got like, I'd say truly like the only like bulky-ish woman, Zarya.
Yeah.
You know something I think they should do? I think they should make a fat support.
Please.
True.
Alright, well, the only thing left to do now is say, bye, stream.
Bye,
Bye, dream. Bye-bye.